Home gyms are amazing for back training. Pull-up bar, barbell, dumbbells, adjustable bench, literally everything that you need to build an incredible back. But what if you have lower back issues, or what if you can't do a pull-up? What I'm going to show you today will completely cover your back training needs regardless of experience level. Let's go. What's up guys, Kyle with HypertroFit.com, the best place to design your home gym and develop your training program. We're talking back training today, something that your home gym is very well equipped to do. Unlike some other muscle groups which may require specific pieces of equipment to really hit home, the back is something that can be hammered with all of the basics: barbell, dumbbells, pull-up bar, and a few different implements to change the angle, and you've got your training made. Now, that said, we are going to go into some specifics in this video that can help you at various levels in your training journey, whether you are working around lower back issues, whether you're relatively new to strength training and might need a few regressions to get up to speed, but regardless, you're going to be able to take something valuable from this video. So what I want to start with first is covering how to train the back. And instead of going muscle by muscle, because there are so many in the back, we're actually going to look at movement patterns. So the 4 movement patterns that I focus on when building a proper program involve vertical pull, horizontal pull, a hinge, and a scapular elevation, or like trap work. So the first one that we're going to look at is the vertical pull. Now, there are a bunch of variations to vertical pulls when you start implementing things like a cable station or a lat pull down tower, but we're not talking about that today. We are talking about strictly barbell, dumbbells, adjustable bench, and a pull-up bar, something that every basic home gym is going to have. With this setup, the only real vertical pull that we have is a pull-up. And a pull-up is one of the kings of back training. But that being said, there might be some of you that can't quite do a pull-up on your own. So maybe you're looking at variations like a band-assisted pull-up and things of that nature. And those can work and they do have their place, but they also come with some pretty big downsides, which are they're kind of hard to get into and maybe not the easiest to progress because you can't quite tell how much the band is helping you. So one of the first exercise variants that I'm going to give you for the pull-up is actually a foot assisted pull-up. This is exactly what it sounds like. You keep your feet on the floor or some sort of platform that allows you to push into it and provide as much help as you need throughout the movement. You can do this without even having a pull-up bar because you can just position the barbell in the rack low enough to where your feet can be either on the floor or out in front of you on a bench, and assisting you as little as necessary to get more reps out of this. As you get stronger, you can use less and less of your legs, and that's much easier to control than something like a band. A second exercise that I'm going to include here is a dumbbell pullover. It's not a vertical pull per se, but it's very similar in its effects that we're targeting the lats directly with no other involvement of other muscle groups of the back. And if we wanted to branch outside of the equipment that we have listed here as the basics, the easiest things to pick up would be some resistance bands so that you can do some half kneeling band pulls. You can also look up very affordable pulley systems that you can simply hang from a rack. It's not going to be as smooth or clean of a setup as a traditional cable pulley tower, but it'll allow you, again, more variety, which is always nice in a home gym setting. If you want to go completely all out, then I think that the Adonis cable tower from Rep is one of the best machines that you can buy after the basics are met. Rogue also makes a great alternative, though I've not tried it. I'm sure it's just as solid because Rogue makes incredible equipment. Movement pattern 2 is the horizontal pull, and this is the bread and butter of a home gym. Barbell rows, dumbbell rows, inverted rows, dumbbell chest supported rows. We have so many different variations here because we just have to bend over and work against gravity with the equipment that we have. Now, that said, if you don't have the best lower back in the world, barbell rows and even sometimes dumbbell rows with a support might be a little bit tricky for you. Now, the good news is if you do have lower back issues, we can still accomplish a lot of what a barbell row does with some chest support, and we can do that with a dumbbell chest supported row. There's also ways to set up barbell chest supported rows on an incline bench as well. They're not quite as clean as the dumbbell variant, at least I don't think, unless you had some sort of cambered bar to give you some more range of motion. But for just the basics here, I much prefer a dumbbell chest supported row. A second option that we have is the inverted row, and this is something that takes absolutely no stress on the lower back, because instead of us bent over pulling weight towards us, we use our body weight in this exercise. This is essentially a horizontal pull-up. So instead of hanging from the bar and pulling vertically, we are hanging down horizontally and pulling our chest to the bar. You can change the width of your grip to hit the upper back versus the lats. You can go from pronated to supinated. If you have neutral grip handles or a neutral grip bar, you can do that as well. So a lot of variations here. Weighted vests allow you to load this up as you get stronger with them too. And then depending on how far out you put your feet also determines the difficulty with this. Standing at more like a 45-degree angle or a 30-degree angle is going to be easier to perform these. As you get stronger, you can start to actually pick your feet up and elevate them on a bench out in front of you and then add load on top of that. So again, a very nice progressible exercise without the lower back stress and still hammering the upper back in that horizontal plane. And if you are looking for equipment additions that add more variety to the horizontal pull, the best thing that you can pick up right away is a landmine attachment. This is going to immediately allow you to do various landmine rows, meadows rows, T-bar rows, and then look into all sorts of the different attachments that are out there. If you really want to go crazy, you can pick up something like the T-bar row handle from Force 6 Fitness, the Pritchett pad from Rogue Fitness, and set up your own chest supported T-bar row. Again, also saving your lower back and hammering the upper back. You can just do T-bar rows bent over. These couple additions that aren't super expensive add a ton of variety, especially to your back training, but they can also carry over to other body parts as well. The next movement pattern we'll look at are hinges, or specifically exercises targeting the lower back. So this is deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, good mornings. Your heavy squats are also going to involve your lower back to a significant degree. And again, amazing exercises, should be core to your program if you're healthy and have no issues. If your lower back doesn't allow you to do some of these exercises, or even like a rack pull or partials, and that's just a no-go, then we still want to be able to strengthen the lower back just without aggravating it. And one of the ways to do this is actually train it directly with reverse hypers. Now, a reverse hyper machine is a massive piece of equipment and it's awesome, but they typically only do one thing. There are some machines that are a combo unit between reverse hypers and GHDs or various other exercises in the posterior chain, but you can actually set up a bodyweight reverse hyper in your rack with just a barbell. And then you could even throw bands on it if you wanted some resistance. This is something that I love to throw in after heavy squats or deadlifts as a way to decompress the spine. You can choose to emphasize stretching out the lower back. You can choose to emphasize the glutes on the contraction. It's really up to you how you include this, but this is a great exercise if lower back is something that has always troubled you. And the final movement pattern we're going to discuss today is scapular elevation, or shrugs, so training your traps. Barbell shrugs, dumbbell shrugs work great. Personally, I don't do any real direct shrugs or direct trap training. You're going to get a ton of carryover if you're already doing heavy deadlifts, heavy rows, and actually one of my favorite exercises if you are trying to bring up your traps, and this does require some level of skill and you to be healthy, but actually Olympic variants. So you don't necessarily need to be doing like a full clean and press or a snatch, but something like a high pull is an exercise that has made my traps sorer than literally anything else, even direct shrugs. Now that said, if you are going to do shrugs, I have really no preference between dumbbells or barbells. They both work. If one's more comfortable for you than another, great. If you have a trap bar, fantastic. But it's not a necessity, especially if you're training your back heavily on other movements. And that completely covers our bases for training back. You really don't need anything else. Let me know in the comments what your favorite back movements are, because it's a very wide array of options. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you again in the next one.